Okay, so here's what it looks like before we put the tongue and groove flooring in. I like the look, it's nice and open. Hopefully it won't change the look too much since it's gonna have a white ceiling. But we're about ready to find out. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Cindy Lynn with RV Barndominium. Well, yes, I am dressed warm and I'm indoors because we're getting ready to head into the pole barn garage. We made our trip to get the wood tongue and groove flooring. It hasn't even been a month since we've been moved in and we're already gonna tackle this project. Unfortunately, we couldn't get it finished before we moved in. Obviously, we wanted to go ahead and get moved in because everything else was ready. This probably would have put us another month behind, maybe even longer because we didn't even have the wood yet with Corona going on. You guys know the story, right? Puts everything behind. So here's what we're gonna be doing. I'm gonna let Tony explain a little more because sometimes he's better at explaining construction than I am. So anyway, this is gonna be another loft area. So explain what we're gonna be doing.
Well, I mean, we put the beams in for decorator for the kitchen.
Mm-hmm. Faux beams.
And we fabricated the faux beams out of floor joist, so they're actually beams. And we kind of had it so that, well, maybe in the future, if we ever wanted to, we could put a flooring over the top of it and make it into a loft.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of planned on it to be done. So we have all the handrail. So when we did the hand railing originally, I went ahead and got all the hand railing for that. So we have the material for that. And the flooring, there's a wide space between the beams. It's farther than a standard floor joist spacing. But the flooring in here is going to be 2x6 tongue and groove. So it's 1.5 inches thick, 2x6, and it's tongue and groove, so they tongue into each other. So I don't think we're going to have any problems with it. It's not going to sag or, might squeak maybe. We're going to glue it down also, so
Hopefully not.
we'll see. And it's just a loft, for a temporary loft. You access it through the bedroom up here. You come up the bedroom. I'll take out this set of handrail right here, this little opening, and you'll step up onto the loft and over there. So it's just going to be like a sitting room. Well, as always, whenever you're working on a project, there's decisions to be made. So what we were looking at, when this is going to be the loft, when you're down in the kitchen and you look up, you will see the bottom of these boards. So the bottom, we figured that would be painted to be white, so it looks like a roof, and also to keep it light in the kitchen to help with that. Then the top, where you walk, is going to be stained, just like all the other stain that we've been putting in the house. So I came out and I cut off the wrapper off the boards, and what I found out is when you get these two tongue and grooves put together, if you can see there, it has a little bit of a chamfer right there that makes a groove, and that looks like shiplaping, and yeah. But what it does not have is on the bottom, it does not have that. They're square edges. So when these are together, it'll just be a crack. And we really don't want that look of a crack, not on the painted nor on the stain side either. So it's an easy fix. We just had to decide on how we wanted to do that. So on the side that's square, the two edges that are square, I'll just have to run my router down the side and put just a little bit of an edge on it or a little bit of a chamfer so that it has so whenever it's put together, it'll have a rounded look to it, and it'll look kind of like shiplap for your feet. Not a big problem. Just one of those things you come across when you're doing a project.
So here's all the boards. The next step, Tony is going to be routing out the edge of the boards that's going to be underneath where you look up from the kitchen. And then I guess sanding, then painting, staining, and varnishing. Clear coat. And then installation will hopefully be next weekend, if we can get all the other parts done.
So I'm running a test. I got my router out and I routed these two boards. So this is what the gap looks like with you know, easing, put a small radius on each one. And this is the side what it looks like before. As you can see, it would leave a crack. They're square. You'll end up splintering yourself on splinters in there. So that's the concept. You know, away from the end there. Let me see the radius. Square. And then that side's just square. So 44 boards to go.
Oh. It's getting dark. It's just cold. I know.
What is it, about 27 degrees outside?
It's pretty cold. I think it's just above freezing, actually. Hello! So this is the end of day one for doing our loft floor with the tongue and groove. Yeah, it's really cold. So here's our pile. We still have to sand that. So what we got done today was we
Cut them to length.
Yeah, cut them to length. Then we did the route.
Routed the edges because the bottom was square. Yep.
These edges here.
The two sides.
Yeah. We got videoed that so we can show that. And then we only got part of them sanded. It's very cold. It's getting dark. So we're going to just go ahead and call it. We've been out here all day. So we're going to call it today. We're going to move everything inside though. So we still have about 20 more minutes of work to do. Anything else? Get a hot beverage after we get finished? Okay. Well, I want to see how long it's going to take us to do this floor. So I'm going to tally up the total hours when we're finished to see how long it takes us to do this, with including everything. So pressure. So just the end of the day check in, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. So this is day 2 of the loft area, which is right above me, right there. Tony started about 12:30 and it's almost 2. He went ahead. Oh, my glasses. I broke my other ones this morning, so I'm trying to glue them back together. I had to put my old ones on. But Tony went ahead out and started sanding those boards that we left from last night. We still had, I think, like 38 boards left. And I usually try to cook either on Saturday or Sundays. Today I'm doing potato soup. So while he's starting the sanding, I told him I was going to go ahead and do the potato soup. So here it is. How many is left?
I don't know, somewhere on the floor. This is what I've done.
Oh, okay.
Round 2.
I just finished the potato soup, so the potatoes are cooking. Okay. It's not done yet. I just finished my part. Look at that flame. We're about to have some heat in here.
Time to start staining some wood, so we need to get the temperature up a little bit. So.
Yeah, hopefully it'll warm it up in here since it's insulated.
Yeah.
So this is day 3. All of the sanding has been done, the routing, and we are getting ready to start with stain. So stain is only going to be on the floor side that will be up in the loft.
The part you walk on, the top will be stained. The underneath will be white, so that when you're in the kitchen, you look up, you'll see white. And that's why we're pre-staining and pre-painting it before we put it in, so we don't have to put the stink in the house. The white upper would be hard to paint. Up against those beams and everything, that would really be a pain. The stain, you kind of could do, but it would stink.
Yeah.
So we'd probably have to come outside and sleep in the camper for a couple of days while it fumigated in there. So.
Okay, I lost track of the days, but I'm pretty sure this is day 4. Okay. It feels like day 5. I was like, 5 was popping in my head, but I'm like, no, I think it's day 4. And here is what we finished last night, which was probably, what, a couple hours worth of staining. We had to do a little extra prep work too. We had to go hunt down the kerosene heater and some additional foam brushes and some paint supplies that we use for staining. Otherwise, it probably would have been a little quicker. And we would have tried to finish up last night, except for we ran out of the particular type of stain that we're using. That's it right there. So Tony had to run and get some more after work today. And we are carrying on. We've got that little pile left there, so. And then we have the fun project of doing the other side white. So we have to paint that, which I'm sure we've stated in previous videos. And then we have to polyurethane the entire set of boards. And then it'll be ready for installation. So that'll probably be the only video for today. We're just gonna finish up these boards and probably take another hour or so to get that done. Then we'll move on to day 5. We got all of our boards stained up really quick here, even though I tried to do one of the stains on the wrong side. Oops. Tony caught me and had to stop me. It was just the end, thank goodness. I guess I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. But the rest of them are good, and we are going to start the next round of the white coating that's going to be going on the underneath side, which will be the kitchen ceiling. Stay tuned. Okay, we are on day 5, if I have my days correct. Hi, Tony. He's getting the paint stirred up down there. So we are, as you can tell, we're starting the underside, which is going to be the ceiling and the kitchen for the tongue and groove boards. So the other side's already been stained, as you can see here. And we are starting to paint this. So we're going to get busy and hopefully it'll go quick because it smells like kerosene and paint in here. All right, well, we finished the white. Here's what it looks like. We did realize it's gonna take a second coat, so boo-hoo for that. Okay, we're on day 6 of the tongue and groove flooring. Tony got off work a little bit early today, so he went ahead and started. This is actually just the second coat of the white that's going to be on the ceiling part. So nothing exciting really going on today. He's just finishing up with the extra second coat of the white. Here's the ones he's already done. It's going a lot quicker since it's the second coat. So he's got a few more boards over there left that's on the cart. And then we'll be ready for polyurethane. All right, I can't wait for installation, so hang tight.
All right, next day. I don't remember what number it is. 6, 7? Can't remember. Today, poly. We're putting the clear polyurethane coat on top of the stained side, which will be the floor, top of the floor, to give it some resilience because it's a floor. So we'll poly all 44 pieces of them. Then I have to let it set for about 6 to 8 hours. Then we'll put a second coat of polyurethane on them. They'll dry overnight, and then hopefully tomorrow we'll get to start installing them. So I'm not gonna bore you with all the details, but clear coat today. Time to poly.
Okay, this is day 7 or 8. I don't know. We tried to remember, but we lost count. So I think it might be 8. I think yesterday was 7. But We're not 100% sure. So anyway, it's been a long week. So we'll just say that. We are kind of in the semi-final stages. So we're doing prep work this morning. This is Sunday morning. We are doing prep work to get the boards laid, as you can see. So we cleaned off everything on the island and put this moving type blanket down just in case anything would fall from above. Of course, you never anticipate something like that happening, but
hopefully it's not me falling from above.
that wouldn't be good. Yeah, somebody's gonna get hurt, and it's probably not the counter. So yeah, so that's what's getting ready to take place now. There are a few more things that we need to do for the prep work. So we're gonna lay some plastic down. It is a bit dusty up there, and I'm going to try to get some of the dust off the top of the beams before we start laying the boards. Tony's tips and tricks of the day.
All right, here's a trick. So this one doesn't, the gap doesn't want to close. So even if I put my block, keep your spares. This is the spare piece of the block with the tongue and groove. I put it over the tongue. You don't ever want to hammer your tongue. It'll deform and you'll never get the pieces in. So you just use this as a hammer block, put it on there. Well, it closes, but then it pops back out. So here's your trick. I use a chisel. You can also use screwdriver, anything sharp, but a chisel works great. You kind of put it at an angle underneath, just kind of tap it into that wood, and then just pull it back.
And then
see,
yeah. And then you staple it while you're
and then you hit
doing
it
that.
Then you hit it with the nail gun while it's held shut.
Yeah, that way you don't have that big gap. Yeah, that looks a lot better. How's the back, Tony?
Back's okay. My hips are killing me.
The hips? Yeah. It's got this little crack left.
So it just plops down in it. you can leave a little bit of it, like you can cut half of it off so it just has a little bit. But the problem is if it's full tongue, you can't set the board down and then slide it in because there's no room against the wall. All right, we're down to the last two pieces. And the problem you get into with tongue and groove is you're up against the wall. You've got the boards and you've got a wall, and you can't set your board and then slide it in. Normally that's how you would end up having to put them together. So on a normal floor, you would on the groove side, which is a side like this that has the groove, you would cut off the bottom, and then whenever you put the last one in, it just goes in like that. Problem with us is we have a and that was a word from our sponsor, Campbell Hausfield Air Compressors. Loud, but they do the job. All right, so like I was saying, you would cut the bottom off, but because we have a floor, we're gonna see it from underneath, I can't cut that lip off. So what I'm gonna do is just the opposite. I am going to cut about half the tongue off so that it still goes in there, still a little bit of a lip to grab it. There's still just a hair there to grab it, but not all of it. That way you can actually turn this one in at an angle and it'll drop in, and then you'll have to nail down. So I got to cut the tongue off the last one and get the last one in.
All right, this is what we've been waiting for. Oh, and you got the glue down already. Oops. You're gonna nip it off a little bit? Just that one end? Yeah. All right, back to the drawing board. Again, third time's a charm. Probably.
Handrail posts. And there's a piece of trim that goes on the floor, just like over there. Baseboard.
Yeah. All right. Well, we haven't seen underneath yet since it's been done. Let's go take a look and we'll get it on camera. Let's go look. Follow us. All right, here we go. Yeah, it looks good. We'll go over there and look at that last piece you put in. It looks really nice. I like it. Yeah, it does look. We initially wanted shiplap, so. Yep. So you can see. Yeah. It looks really good. I like it a lot. It has a different look than I expected. I like it too. It's really nice.
Post in. The old one used to only be about this high, so I made a new one. So that's this post. We got to put another post right here. This one will go right here, and then as soon as we get our new handrails made, these will go in here. And they'll go all the way to the wall. That's what we're doing this weekend.
The hand railing, and man, it looks so good. It looks like it totally like a loft up there. Yes, it really does. You never know how something's gonna look, the final outcome, until you get it finished. But we do still have to do The sockets, all of the sockets are still in their raw form. So there's one you can barely see. So Tony is going to finish that, and then it's done. Then we can start figuring out the layout and the furniture. But yeah, it looks good, and it wasn't too hard of a project. The hardest part was waiting in between the paint and the stain to get everything done.